think so. Ay. Hi guys, and welcome back to another Storytime Society episode. I have this little bikini top on because it's Memorial Day. Actually, I also have like a bikini on. Oh, sorry to show you my boob, but this new bikini is really cute. It's from Pink, Victoria's Secret Pink, and it's their collab with Frankie's Bikinis, and it's so cute and comfy. I love it. I got like 3 bikinis from there and a couple pieces of clothes because I was obsessed with their collab with Frankie's Bikinis. But not the toy going off. Oh my god. My cat has this new toy that it like literally acts like a piece of prey, and it like runs around, and like it's so weird. So I really hope that you can't hear it because hopefully it stops soon, but that's really annoying. Okay, but anyways, happy Memorial Day. This will be posted a day after Memorial Day, so take that as you will. Going after this to my boyfriend's mom's. We're going to have a little grill out and sit by the pool, I think. Maybe I'll have like a high noon or something. I don't know. I actually don't have a drink today because I just drank my latte, but it's right there and I kind of want it because I think there might be a couple sips left. But yeah, it's literally Memorial Day. My boyfriend has off work, and I was like, shit, I still have to record an episode. Like, I can't leave my people hanging on Tuesday and not give them an episode just because it's Memorial Day. Like, I can still record an episode. So I'm recording an episode for you guys, of course, because I don't want to miss you guys. But anyways, let's get into the stories for this episode. I thought there was something else I wanted to say, but I think that's really it. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Let's go into it. I have not read this yet, but I did read the title and it sounds kind of sad. So beware. The trigger warnings are children neglect, abandonment, and mentions of alcoholism, child abuse, and child trauma. I always have like a midlife crisis through like a second through the episode because I want to make sure that this microphone is on, because if it's not, I would be pissed. Anyways, there's so many updates to this, so this story might take a while because I'm pretty sure it was posted, the original was posted February 21st, 2024, and there's a new update that was posted 12 hours ago, and I think there's like multiple updates in between that as well. And the title is, My Mom Asked Me to Watch My Siblings for a Week. It's been 9 weeks. Okay, original post. It's pretty short. But it says, my mom went out of town 2 days before Christmas and then texted me 12 hours later saying she would be gone for a week and for me to have the kids. She hasn't come back since, so almost 9 weeks. I have heard from her 3 times total, and she is saying she isn't coming back anytime soon. She just keeps sending money. My siblings are 16, 13, 12, 9, and 7. I'm 19. I'm surviving, looking after the kids by myself, and to be honest, not much has changed because I did most of it when my mom was here anyway. We live with our nan, but she doesn't help with them really either, and my older siblings are long moved out. I guess my question is my mom being gone a serious issue legally and with social services? I don't want to risk the kids going into care. Been there, done that when I was younger. So I haven't told anyone that she's gone. I'm scared of what will happen if people find out, so I don't even want to ask the questions in real life. So that's really sad. Like, what's happening? Update number 1, February 29th, 2024. I spoke to my mom on the phone and told her I want her to give me custody of the kids since she is refusing to come back or say when she will be back, and I'm done with her BS. We argued for like an hour, but in the end, she said she would do it after I told her I was going to call the police on her. Before speaking to her, I spoke to a lawyer, and I should be able to get legal guardianship through a parenting order, which will go through the court. My 22-year-old brother said he will move home and help me under the condition that my mom doesn't move back and he refuses to be around her. His income and input will help a lot, and he seems serious about wanting to be involved with parenting and taking care of the kids, especially our little brother, as he needs a male role model badly. If we can't get custody, then my nan should be able to. Either way, my mom is very unlikely to keep custody unless she suddenly decides she gives a shit. I would bet my life she will never give a flying F. Getting legal custody is the outcome I want, so I'm relieved it seems like a real possibility. Now I'm just trying to do a total overhaul of everything with the kids because I think they need a lot more structure, discipline, rules, routine than they have had until now. I have realized I don't really know anything about good parenting, so I have a lot to learn. Not the power going out. That was scary and crazy. Anyways, sorry, that was a distraction. Maybe I will get some good books. Until now, our house has been more like a house share with everyone doing what they want and running around feral rather than anyone really guiding the kids. I grew up even more feral, and I don't think it's a good way to be raised. I'm starting a bath and bedtime routine for the youngest two and a curfew for the teenagers because right now the 12-year-old goes off on his skateboard and will just show up again at like 10 p.m. on a school night. I've also been giving them much better food than they usually have, and it's been rough to get them to eat healthy, but we have made so much progress already. Any advice on instilling rules would be welcome, as I don't think it will be easy, and I have never had any kind of actual parent role model in my life. Aww. Editor's note: OP has appeared. Oh wait, what? OOP has appeared into the Boru after it was posted. I have received her permission to share her comment. She said, "Thank you so much for all of the helpful comments here and messages offering help and advice. Right now, I'm putting all my energy into the new routine and trying to sort out legal guardianship so we can get money for the kids, etc. Everything else is a problem for later on when we are more settled. My older brother came up last weekend, and to be honest, it was nice but weird because the younger kids don't even remember him, and they have pretty much clung to me the entire time because having a man in the house is strange for them. But after he left, they said they miss him and liked having him here. He's been sorting his shit out for the week and is coming back tomorrow with all of his stuff and will be working remote from our house. Me and him have spoken a lot, and I think we will be able to get on the same page with the kids and make it work. I'm worried about about some things with parenting differences, but we will figure it out. I'm trying not to seem too controlling, but it's hard to adjust to someone else being very involved when I've been looking after them by myself. I know I need him, though." Okay. My nan was actively trying to undermine me, and we had an argument. Then my brother got here, and he had an argument with her in the first half hour. So she has gone to my aunt's for a while. She's still paying bills here, but if she stops, we will be okay with my brother's money and mine. My brother wants to take the kids and move out and move houses, but I'm not even thinking about that until everything else is sorted out. Now that things are actually changing, our older sisters are more interested and have been having messaging me, so they might help as well. The kids are not taking the new routine too well, but we were making progress, so I'm trying to stick with it. I made a meal plan and have stuck to that all week. My 9-year-old sister told me she likes rules, which makes it feel worth it. The teenagers are kind of a nightmare, but I'm trying to persevere with them. 13-year-old was being horrific, and I lost my shit, which made her have an emotional breakdown, and now she's been a lot better. 12-year-old has taken it okay-ish. He just tells me I'm a loser all the time and asks for his skateboard back a million times a day, but I don't know. But I know he knows where it is. So he is being pretty good considering he could just take it back if he really wanted. 16-year-old is hell. 7-year-old has like 3 tantrums a day and won't eat or sleep, so she stresses me out probably the most. My mom hasn't called me anymore, but is complying with giving custody and told her friend it's the best thing that has ever happened to her. Ew. I can't be asked with her, and if she tries to come back, I will do everything I can to keep her away from the kids. That's disgusting. That's the best thing that ever happened to you. Why'd you have like 10 kids then? Okay, March 14th, 2024. Hi, not sure if doing multiple updates is okay, but I have a lot of messages. I don't know what the Boru post, and think it will be easier to give an update to who are interested like this, as replying to all is hard. Thanks to advice here, we have realized that getting kinship is a better choice for us financially than getting legal guardianship. This wasn't mentioned to us by the lawyer or social services, so I'm grateful for everyone here, as we will have so much less financial stress on kinship, and we will get access to a lot more services for the kids. Things are already seeming so much less scary. My brother has come to help me and is working remotely for his job, which is ideal. He has been amazing at making it all happen so fast and packing his life to move back. He is still back and forth at the moment, but should be here full time besides a few days a month where he still has to be there in person. Our oldest sister has said she will send some money every month to help us, but doesn't want to be involved other than that. I understand why, and I'm very grateful she is helping. Honestly, it hurts a bit that she refuses to talk about the kids or anything, but she is doing what she can to handle right now. Our other sister is working, FIFO, fly in, fly out, right now, and has suggested coming back on her work weeks off to help, but I'm not sure that will actually happen to work well in reality. My brother doesn't get along with her very well and says he doesn't think living with her again will work. The kids are still struggling with the new rules, and we have had some issues. 16-year-old hates me, so my brother is trying to take over with her because I'm bored of fighting with her. The others are doing better, but still so difficult. 7-year-old won't sleep, which is the hardest thing right now because then I can't sleep and I'm tired AF. She has meltdowns when she's tired, and she's always tired now, so she's always having meltdowns. I don't know what to do with her. Everything I try to make her sleep doesn't work well. She says she doesn't know why she can't/won't sleep, so I don't even know where to start. My brother tried to get her to bed, and she just cried and screamed for me. 12-year-old is listening to our brother, which is the best thing to ever happen because I was really worried about handling him since he listens to me never. 13 and 9-year-old are easier and not stressing me out too much. So we are kind of a divide and conquer now. My brother handles 2, and I handle the other 3. I have found out I am very protective of the younger ones and find it difficult to let my brother discipline them, so it causes less problems between us if I deal with them. Still early days, and hope and consistency will fix a lot of the smaller issues. Long term, we want to rent somewhere bigger as our nan's house is very cramped and making things harder. This is long and messy, sorry. Just wanted to update everyone who has asked, and thanks again for everyone for the advice. Jeez, this sounds like crazy. You're 19 years old and literally raising like 5 kids. I was in college being a crazy bitch. I can't even imagine. This girl, like, ugh, I feel so bad. You're not even getting to experience like a 19-year-old life because your mom is a deadbeat. Okay, update number 3, April 4th, 2024. Back with another update. I can't believe it's been over 3 months now. We applied for Kinship and have had the provisional approval and the home inspection and some interviews. We've got a couple more things to do / still ongoing, and then we should be good. We got our first payment, which has been so good and really made me feel so much more optimistic about everything because we'll be able to actually do something other than just survive. The caseworker pretty much told me that they don't want to have to find placements for the kids, for this many kids, so us keeping them is their much preferred option, which is reassuring. My mom hasn't contacted me for a while. We thought she might show up on Easter because holidays are usually her time to cry about how much she misses our dad, and she usually prefers to ruin everyone's day with that, but she didn't come, thank God. Our nan is still at our auntie's because she can't stand to be around us, apparently, because me trying to feed them good food and not let a 7-year-old disappear for hours on bicycles with kids 3+ years older than her is just me thinking I am better than my nan. A lot of people said to try to co-sleep with 7-year-olds, so I've started doing that. It's helping a bit. She actually will lay down, so that's a win, but she still cries a lot and tries to get up. But she also does a death grip on me, so I have kind of accepted that I have to go to bed when she does. It's not the worst thing ever because I have been looking things up and reading online whilst I lay with her and when she eventually calms down. I've ordered melatonin to try. I share a room with 16-year-old and she doesn't want 7-year-old in there, but it's kind of tough. I can't do anything about it until we move houses, which isn't going to be soon. It's not the most peaceful night with her in there because she kicks me and wakes up at random times trying to chat or crying, but we are getting some sleep. She slept in my single bed with me for 4 months old, from 4 months old until she was like 2. I clearly knew nothing about safe sleep, but my mom had sold the crib to try to annoy my dad, so she actually had nowhere else to sleep, and I haven't told her that because I don't want to tell her mom didn't care that she didn't have a bed. But she seems to remember because she said, "We used to have sleepovers in your bed a lot, didn't we?" Also, I got 16-year-old earplugs and told her she can sleep in 7-year-old's bed in the other room if she prefers. I do my best to try to soothe 7-year-old in general. She had one of her other crying breakdowns last week and said she didn't feel safe or happy. Then she said she wishes I was her real mommy. I told her I am her real mommy because I've looked after her whole life and I won't ever leave her. She seems a bit happier since then. I'm going to get a photo of us for her and have it in her little purse she carries everywhere. Aw. She's pretty sentimental, so she will like that. Yesterday, she asked me if me and our brother are married. LOL. Obviously, I said no, and she said, I feel like you are my mom and dad. I hope that's a good thing, even if it's a little weird. She is definitely bonding with him now too. She always wants me to carry her around. When I say no because I'm busy, he offers to do it and she lets him now. She used to ignore him. Seeing her snuggle into his neck and actually relax is the cutest thing. It makes my heart happy because I remember wishing I had a dad who would hold me, and I'm so glad she is getting all the love. Me and my brother have had a few disagreements over discipline. He is pretty strict, and usually that's a good thing because they need it, to be honest, but sometimes I find it a bit much. Biggest disagreements was when he smacked 9-year-old and I lost my shit. We grew up with a lot worse, and not gonna lie, I have smacked them before, but I don't want to be doing that anymore. Bro thinks there's nothing wrong with one smack on the bum. I would rather we don't go there. He said he won't do it again, and I don't think he will. He wasn't angry when he did it, so I'm not really concerned about it, and he apologized to 9-year-old. We're just still trying to figure out discipline. Our dad used an electric cord as a whip, so one smack in the bum is practically gentle parenting to us. I have read enough to know we don't want to do anything physical discipline though. Worst thing I've had to do is give the youngest two suppositories. My sister gave me money to take them to the GP because I was worried about them and couldn't find any for free and didn't want to wait for Kinship. Turns out they are both malnourished, underweight, and constipated AF, and they've missed some vaccines. For the constipation, we tried medicine and more fiber and more water, but no bueno. So it had to be the suppositories because the doctor said it was verging on severe. I tried to explain it to them and make the whole thing easy, but it turned into quite the drama. 9-year-old was easier, but still took me a while. 7-year-old was impossible, and everyone got so stressed on day 1, so we left it, and she was not complying on day 2, so my brother had to get involved and pretty much had to hold her down. Because I called the doctor, and she said either we do it or I take her in and they do it. So we had no choice really, and I still feel horrible about it. I'm obsessed with what they're eating now because I do not want anyone going through that again. But I will say they are a lot better since. They aren't getting tummy aches and they aren't so grouchy, and it has helped 7-year-old sleep with her for sure. We are getting the other 3 to the doctor next week. We will do telehealth after, but I want to see someone in person for the first appointment. After that, the next thing to do on the list is dentist. We have looked at therapy and should be getting telehealth sessions soon. So far, all the teenagers have said they aren't doing therapy, but I will try to make them at least try it. 16-year-old is still difficult. She took my ID and she was going out whenever she liked. But my brother grounded her and she has actually listened and tried not to sneak out. The other 3 are doing okay. No big issues with them, to be honest. They are adopting pretty well, I think. I try to talk to them all about everything when I can, and they all seem to understand what's going on and trust that we won't be going anywhere, and we just need them to cooperate with us so that we can get through. My little brother, who is 12, is obsessed with older bro. I used to have an issue with him going out every evening for hours and was so stressed about trying to keep him home and safe, but Matt being here has basically eliminated the issue. Jay just wants to be around them all the time, and Matt has somehow got this kid thinking doing homework with him is the best thing ever. Sorry this is so long again. I don't know how long I will be doing these updates for. Everyone is so incredibly helpful that I will carry on posting because I always need more advice. This is actually so crazy. I can't believe this girl is taking care of every single, that's crazy. I mean, she's literally a hero. She should actually get an award for that because that's the most insane thing I've ever heard. I can't even imagine, giving up your whole entire base. You're still a child and you're taking care of, so many children. You're giving up your whole, your whole life, basically. You've been taking care of these kids since you were probably a tiny child, because this mom, I wish I had more updates on the mom. I really want to know what the more of the details with the mom. obviously she wasn't a good mom for their whole life, so it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to them to have her disappear, even though that's obviously going to cause so much trauma for the kids when they grow up. Like, just even if they obviously are like, they know that it's for the best and they're like, my mom was terrible and it's so much better without her, even that, they're still going to have trauma because they're going to have abandonment issues and they're going to be thinking that everyone's going to leave them because their mom just randomly decided to leave after having so many kids. Like, the fact that people do that is sickening. You have, I don't know how many kids that was, like 6 or 7 or 8. I don't know, because they have older siblings too. So this girl just kept popping out kids left and right. And then she was just like, okay, you take care of that one. Like, having more kids to have them take care of the other kids and stuff. It's just crazy to me. And obviously, like, the older siblings are estranged and they like left and they don't want to come back. So that seems like they probably had a lot of trauma. And I'm sure, I feel like almost the older siblings usually get more trauma. I don't know why I feel like that, but I just feel like that. Honestly, this sounds like, not to sound like, I don't know what the word is, ignorant, but it's honestly probably the best thing that could happen to the little kids, like the 7-year-old and the 9 and the 12-year-old and stuff, because they won't have to endure what the rest of the older siblings did, which is, I'm sure she said they were whipping them with electric cords. Like, that's crazy. So honestly, that girl, that mom can actually rot in hell, because that's so screwed up. That girl shouldn't even be allowed to, like, have a good life. She should honestly be in jail for child neglect. And I feel like if you have that many kids and then you don't take care of them, like, there needs to be some type of punishment for that, because why? Why are you having so many children if you can't even take care of one? Okay. Next story. This one is, how do I, 21 female, tell my 28 female sister that her fiancé, 32 male, tried to have sex with me while I was drunk? A few nights ago, there was a family gathering at my parents'. Everyone had a great time with lots of food and drinks. My sister wasn't at the gathering because she was stuck at work. My sister's fiance, who I'll name Alex for the story, was drinking quite a bit and got drunk. My parents offered to let him stay the night because of how drunk he was. As the night went on, people started to leave or go to bed. I was staying over in my old room, and Alex was supposed to stay in the guest room. Late at night, after everyone else had gone to bed, not to the bed, had gone to bed, I was in my room. Okay, sorry. Late at night, after everyone else had gone to bed, I was in my room getting ready to sleep when I heard a knock on the door. I thought it was my mom checking up on me, but when I opened the door, it was Alex. He looked drunk and was stumbling a bit. He started talking, slurring his words, and then he tried to kiss me. I was completely shocked and pushed him away, but he kept saying things like, "Come on, it's just us, and we can have some fun." I kept telling him no and trying to get him to leave, but he grabbed my arm and tried to pull me towards him. I managed to push him off, out the door, and locked the door so he couldn't get back inside. I stayed up all night not knowing what to do. The next morning, Alex acted like nothing happened. He was friendly and normal, which made me even more upset. I know I need to tell my sister, but I'm terrified. She's deeply in love with Alex, and their wedding is in 2 months. I don't want to ruin her happiness or cause a huge family scandal, but I can't let her marry someone who would do something like this. I also fear she might not believe me, or worse, that it will tear our family apart. How do I even start this conversation, and should I tell our parents first? I'm just confused and upset. The top comment says, last night while Alex was very drunk, he came into my room and asked me to have sex with him. I told him no multiple times and had to physically push him off me and lock the door. Yeah, because you cannot let your sister marry that man. He sounds disgusting. Wait, no. The post, the update is literally removed by the moderators. It says removed because of Rule 5. I want to see what Rule 5 is. You can submit one update post at any time after 48 hours pass from the original post. Okay. That's stupid because I really thanks. Now I can't even know what the update is. What the hell? It's so rude. Okay. Let's read. Oh god, this one's really long. Wow. Ugh. I hope this one's worth it. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. Okay. Let's just read it. Because the title seems interesting but it's really long, so I hope you guys like long stories. I ghosted my husband literal days after our marriage. Alright, y'all, this is going to be a journey, so I recommend you buckle up. I honestly debated posting this for a really long time, but I've never told the whole story to anyone before. Wow, my throat is like closing right now. Let me grab my coffee. Oh good, there is a couple sips left, like I said. Okay. Several years ago, I think I was 19 at the time, I, now 29 years old, started up a relationship with the man of my dreams. He was beautiful, in the army. Red flag. Sorry if that's rude. I respect my military people, okay? But I've heard y'all are some cheaters. Anyways, several years ago, I think I was 19 at the time, I, now 29, started up a relationship with the man of my dreams. He was beautiful, in the army, strong, and was essentially the all-American man. Lord knows he certainly ended up proving he was an all-American man. I'm talking the 50s stereotype, complete with the raging misogyny and low-key God complex. Eek. I'd always been super self-conscious and had some wild insecurities. So when this drop-dead gorgeous man wanted me, I was over the moon and quickly fell head over heels for him. He was funny, kind, encouraged my passions, and always let me know in little ways that he appreciated my quirks and loved me even more because of them. He was perfect. I never saw it coming. The next 2 years became a nightmare. Having ensured that I felt I couldn't live without him, the emotional and mental abuse and manipulation began, so slowly that I never even noticed it. I used to be one of those women who thought, oh, you're in an abusive relationship? Just leave him, babe. You deserve better. It is never that simple when you're in it. He made me feel like I was never going to do better, that I didn't deserve better, that I was too difficult to love because I was just so much, and only he was strong enough to give me that. What I thought, only he was strong enough to give me what I thought I needed. It's funny now, but he used to always tell me that no one could give me dick like he could as well. Honestly, I can get better dick from the draw in my side table, but that's neither here nor there. When I say this man was a master manipulator, I mean it. He had me fully believing that his fetishism of my bisexuality was totally cool, i.e., it didn't count as cheating if I slept with a woman. Well, what if... it does count. It does count as cheating, but what if he's just, okay with it? As for what he did to me, it started with the where are you text and graduated to who are you talking to and are you talking to men. He ruined my working relationships, isolated me from family and friends, and made me feel so out of my mind crazy. He used to threaten me with leaving because I had to talk to customers and would gloat when I would essentially apologize for just breathing in a man's direction. I was so deep in the hole of depression and obsession that I couldn't even see what was wrong at the time. Eventually he proposed, and of course I said yes. The picking of my engagement ring was a whole mess, of course. I didn't care about having an expensive ring, but apparently ring price is directly tied to virility or some shit, because he insisted that everything I wanted was cheap and reflected poorly on him as a man. Not that the ring we ended up agreeing on was good either. It was simultaneously too cheap, too expensive, and not flashy enough. My taste sucked, and I was shitty for insisting I wanted that garbage. He wanted to get married immediately, but I had always wanted a big wedding where all my family would be present. I have a massive family, and I'm incredibly family oriented. I also wanted to live together for a while before getting married anyway, so we could decide whether we could stand each other in close quarters. This made me the devil and proved all I wanted to do was cheat on him. Eventually, we agreed that I would move across the country to move in with him where he was stationed. We were so isolated. We weren't in base housing, and our apartment was miles away from the base or any major town, and I was by myself for most of the day. He also had the only vehicle, so I had no way to leave on my own. During this time, I was trying to get a degree and find a job, and he insisted that I drop out of university and enroll in online courses and find online jobs so that I never left the house. He insisted that all I needed to be happy was to take care of him, cook his meals, clean his house, and stay barefoot and pregnant for the rest of my life. The dream of any good woman. After a week, I ran out of birth control pills, which shocked me because I had a 3-month supply. I later found out that he flushed them. We had discussed having kids before, and I told him that for some serious health reasons, I didn't want to risk pregnancy. Also, my health issues make me the pug of people, and I really don't want to pass those short straw genetics on to future humans because that feels like an asshole move. Anyway, of course, we had a pregnancy scare. The women in my family get pregnant if you so much as sneeze at them. So the frat bro who thought I was cruel for asking him to wear a condom didn't take long to try and lock me down with his spawn. I miscarried. It was traumatic. I was alone, and his sympathy couldn't even feel a thimble. Now, on to our wedding. He took me to a courthouse after convincing me while I was grieving that it was the only way to prove that I loved him. I had just killed his child, and the amount of money he'd spent on me meant that I was his anyway. Jesus. Yeah, I know. Disgusting. So we had to go get our marriage license signed by an officiant, which meant going to the cheapest immediately available person with the correct certifications. This next bit is impossible to make up. I felt like I was on a bad trip. We found an officiant on freaking Craigslist. We showed up to their place of business, and it's just someone's house, and it looked super sketchy. Still, we were here, and he wasn't about to listen to my protests, so we just went in. And it was just someone's residence. No one was around, and we were just walking around in a random house like a couple of confused trespassers until we came across a room full of babies and a really startled woman. She started questioning us in rapid Spanish, and he became really irate with me that I couldn't translate fast enough. I know a little Spanish, but I understand it better than I speak it. This woman is becoming frantically terrified, and that's when the officiant came busting around the corner to see what the fuss was about and was able to explain our presence. They took us into the room. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. There was a lime green grass rug strip leading to an IKEA-style garden arch with plastic vines just everywhere. The walls were papered with positive affirmation posters. Think the hang in there kitty poster. And the room smelled so heavily of incense that my nose and eyes immediately started running like a faucet. The officiant ran us through the Mario Kart speed run of ceremonies, and 10 minutes later, we were headed back to the courthouse to get our marriage legalized. That was it. My dreams of a wedding, surrounded by the love of my family and friends, walking down the aisle with my dad, sharing the intimacy of the day with the most important people in my life, was crushed. I will never accept this was my first marriage. It was a hostage situation, but that memory will always be there, getting married with a poster of a mountain view underscored with the words, "A journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step," in my direct eye line. We get back home, and it's time for our honeymoon, which meant I laid on my back and made all the appropriate noises while he did his thing. Oh my God. That made me really sad. Crowing about his prowess the whole time, and while thoroughly disappointing his now wife, suggested we call up one of his numerous satisfied exes to have her espouse the virtues of his vainglorious weenie in bed with me on the day of our wedding. I'm confused by a lot of those words. I'm so sorry. I was so numb inside that the absolute clown show of this man was starting to reach my subconscious. And boy, did she have some tea to share with my conscious mind. The fog was beginning to lift. Fast forward 2 days, I made a joke. I don't even remember what it was, only that he was the butt of it. If you've made it this far and you know anything about abusive relationships, you know what comes next. He took me to the floor. Remember, he's military. Okay, trigger warning, because this is really sad and physical abuse. And had my arm pinned so far up my back that he dislocated my shoulder. Oh boy, was that like jumping into an ice-cold river. I knew instantly that I had to get out. I was awake and I was terrified. I made all the obsequious apologies, went into survival mode, and waited until he was at work to call my dad and beg for him for help. He bought me a next day flight on Spirit Airlines. Never thought I'd say God bless Spirit Airlines, but hell, I made up some bullshit story about how I had to go home because my dad had gotten into a horrible car crash and might not make it, and convinced my hubby to drive me to the airport. I felt sick with terror that he'd figure it out and refused to let me leave while we sat in silence for the nearly 3-hour drive to the airport. I didn't feel safe until I boarded the damn plane. By the way, there was literal duct tape holding the wing together, and I still felt like tongue kissing the freaking floor of this joke of an aircraft in gratitude. Okay, I'm sure the duct tape was not holding the wing to the plane, because that would be insane. Needless to say, but I made it home, and that's definitely not where the story of escaping this sociopathic toddler ends. If you can believe it, it gets crazier. But just getting this much out there has been exhausting. I will absolutely get part 2 out if anyone wants to know. Of course. Of course we want a part 2. Like, are you alive? Number 1. Are you going to therapy? Number 2. Okay. I don't think she's actually... wait. Has she put an update? Okay. So I went to her thing. And it looks like she commented. Oh, here we go. I think this is an update. But trigger warning, suicide, and self-harm. So that is something to take into account for what I'm about to read. But the title is I Finally Left. I finally left my abuser. I have a restraining order on him. I'm lucky to have a support system who is there for me. But I think I'm going to unalive myself. Oh my God. Okay. I feel like I'm about to cry just because I was reading that. Or I really want to, at least. I don't see myself ever healing from this. Nothing has hurt like this in my entire life. I haven't eaten and barely slept in a week. I don't think he even cares I'm gone, other than the fact, oh my God, why am I crying? That I'm not financially supporting him anymore. I hate that I still love him and that I can never go back. I hate that I feel bad for putting a restraining order on him, even though he deserves to be in jail for what he did. I keep thinking I wish I could go back and not argue with him that night so he wouldn't have did what he did to me. Even though I know that if I stayed, he would have likely killed me. With the way I'm feeling right now, I wish he did. He attacked me in front of his friend, and his friend did nothing. I will never forget it. He just stared blankly at me. He could have helped me, and he just stood there, and then he left me alone with him. It replays in my head every second I'm awake. My brain is a constant whirlwind of traumatic memories and pain, and it never ends. I don't want to be alive anymore. Okay, that's really sad. And I hate that it's such a common theme for people to think that I should have just not argued with him and he wouldn't have done what he did. But that's just not the case, because he would have. It doesn't even matter if you argued with him at some point. You would have done something so minuscule that he would blow out of proportion, and he would have done that to you anyways. And yeah, he would have killed you. And you need to get therapy. Like, that's really so important, because you have so much trauma. Like, this is so traumatizing. And you are like trauma bonded to him. So that's why you're feeling this way. Because a trauma bond is extremely powerful and impalpable, and all the ways that she's feeling are really like lining up, I feel like, with the fact that she's trauma bonded to him. And then once she like kind of heals from that, hopefully she has like insurance and she's able to get a therapist and work through it, because she will come out so much better on the other end and finally like really disconnect from that whole situation. Okay. Oh wait, this is like the only comment, I think. Someone commented, "Listen, hun, as someone who has been there before, all I can say is reach out. Talk to someone. I absolutely know how hard this is. The self-loathing, the fear, the absolute dead end you've hit. You are not alone in feeling like this. We are a family of survivors. Not everyone's story is the same. No, but the path to healing is. My personal take, get angry. You deserve to feel angry. None of this was your fault. It was his. You want to get back at him, survive, thrive. Nothing is more of a middle finger to your abuser or the ones who enabled him than to do better without them. It'll take a while. Your brain has made connections and neural pathways that will insist that your life feels incomplete without that person because their presence has become a habit. Remind yourself every time you tell yourself you still love him that what they did was not love. Remind yourself that they are a drug and that you are making the choice to get clean because you want to be healthy and, most importantly, alive. Once again, you are not alone. We've all been through this emotional shitstorm. You can come out of the other side too." And she commented back saying, "Thank you so much for this. Seriously, I was in a dark place writing this post and I didn't think anyone would see it. I have decided I'm never going to let him have power over me again. Charges are pressed." I can't believe I just cried. Oh my God. That story like really hurt my heart. That's so sad. Because it's so sad that like when you are with an abuser, I mean, I've never been with like an abuser like that, but I feel like I've seen it happen. And when you are with an abuser, it's sad because you'd think like, okay, once I leave, I'll be happy. But no, because he caused so much trauma that you have so much to work through. Like, that's just the beginning of the struggle. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel always in every situation, but it's just a matter of the journey and healing and just going through the emotions, because there are some heavy emotions, I'm sure. I can't even imagine. I've never been through something like that, but I've had people around me that I love that have been through situations similar to that, and it's really sad. But okay, I have to go because we are supposed to be going to the little Memorial Day cookout with my boyfriend's mom. And yeah, sorry if this was a shorter episode. I really don't know how long this has been, but I really didn't want to miss you guys on a Tuesday episode. So I had to make sure I could get one out. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. As always, love chatting with you. Subscribe, like, share with a friend. Love you.